Hello and welcome back to Ogden. My name is Alicia Washington. Today we will tour Ogden and have the chance to hear about 6 of our thriving programs created by Ogden's community partners. The programs specifically address structural racism and other injustices to advance opportunities for all of our residents. They will give details of the successful programs in our community and how they all intertwine to create solutions to address racism in all of its forms.
Here at United Way, our mission is to unite people and organizations to help to build healthy, stable, well-educated communities where individuals, families, and neighborhoods can thrive. We have a lot of challenges here and want to address those to help to protect basic human rights and to help create equal access to resources and to help improve social cohesion for our community. Ogden School District has over 900 students who are recognized as homeless as defined by the McKinney-Vento definition of homelessness. As you know, students who have high mobility rates are less likely to achieve in school. And so one of the programs that we're starting here at United Way and partnering with our community partners is called the Future Forward program. We're really excited to have this program because it brings services and resources to families who otherwise would not have these opportunities to be connected and have this support. It's a prevention program that helps to meet the needs of families who are on the verge of homelessness, connecting them with financial stability, coaching, and mentoring, and also other needed resources that can help to decrease high mobility rates for these families and their students, but then also help to have successful, stable housing for these families. What it does is it brings together multiple community partners to help to lift up these families to create the stability and success for them and their students. United Way partners with Ogden School District. We have a homeless advocate in the school that helps to identify these families. That prevention piece is so important, moving that up a level instead of waiting for the families to be homeless. We also partner with Weber State and the Ogden CAN, along with Cottages of Hope and Ogden Weber Community Action Partnership. Ogden City also is another contributing partner in this work. They have a program called Pathway to Citizenship that helps connect families to the resources needed to obtain citizenship here in this community.
Recently, I had the great pleasure to work with numerous organizations in our community to create a new immigration services program. We've called it Ogden Citizenship Path. Through this program, we were able to help 19 individuals in our community on their path to becoming naturalized U.S. citizens. We were able to work with amazing organizations like United Way, Ogden CAN, Weber County Library Systems, my hometown Ogden, and Catholic Community Services. We all came together to create a one-stop shop, if you will. We brought all the resources to one location and just brought the participants to us. Through this program, we were able to help these individuals prepare for their interview with USCIS. We had screenings done and helped with the legal services to help these individuals complete their application. We taught the participants how to be civically engaged so that once they are naturalized U.S. citizens, they can play an active role in our community. Programs like the Ogden Citizenship Path are essential for our community. They really are life-changing for the people who participate in these programs. One of the things that I enjoy the most about our community is the collaboration efforts throughout the city. Chris Ibsen, who is the executive director with OWCAP, also happens to serve on the Ogden City Diversity Commission. I believe that the opportunity to serve on the Diversity Commission assists Chris and all of the other commissioners by being able to collaborate with other community leaders and take the information that they're learning back to their organizations to better serve their mission.
ALCAP has been the community action agency for our county since 1965, and we've been part of the history that's been happening in the Ogden area. Community action was born out of the War on Poverty in 1965, and one of the purposes of why we exist is to help identify and address social injustices that happen in our communities. So redlining and racial covenants, that it prohibited people of color, foreign-born, and low-income populations from purchasing homes. Redlining was something that happened decades ago that made it so lenders wouldn't give mortgage loans or insurances to someone who was trying to purchase a home. So it really narrowed down where people could live and what they could afford and what lenders were willing to back. Fortunately, there are bills in place that have stopped this practice from happening, and we are doing better as a community, but we always could do much better as a community in this area. We were able to use some of the research that was supported by Ogden Can and Weber State University to identify areas that we had strong services and then gaps of service. And as the direct service provider, ALCAP was able to design some of these programs to help meet those gaps. One of those areas is the landlord-tenant mediation. It's not something that we had in this area, and but based off of the information we learned through our partnership with Ogden Can, we were able to design some of those services. We also are partnering with Ogden Can and Weber State interns to deliver these educational workshops in innovative places. So it's not always happening at one agency or one building. We're going to the libraries and to residents, maybe even parks where we can further reach people in our community to provide the information that we need so that the old practices are not going to be reoccurring, because when you have education and you have the right resources, we can make our community stronger and combat those different injustices that happen.
When I first started working for Ogden Can, one of the first things I became really aware of is this is a really diverse neighborhood. Nearly half are Hispanic, and many other different groups, the Black community, Asian community, Pacific Islander. And one of the disadvantages was that I started in the beginning of COVID, but that was also an advantage because I spent a lot of time just talking to people in the neighborhood, asking them, if we're going to build community, build social fabric in this area, and do it in a training program, what kind of a setup is going to work? From those conversations, one of the things that was brought out is that if we were wanting to tap into these people who had expertise in the local neighborhood, they had circles of influence, that was worth paying for, and I agreed. In the meantime, we started having community breakfasts, again, to bring people in. This is a neighborhood where there's division between people for all kinds of historic reasons. That this is an area that didn't get all the attention necessarily that some other parts did. And so one of our community leaders focused on the park that is near the public library, and working to make it safer for families to go to. Organize different activity nights where families could come together because it would be safer if there were a lot of families together, that they could be at the park there. In our second year, Andrea Diaz was one of our community leaders, and her project was to work with United Way and to install little libraries so that everyone in this area is able to walk to a little library and to have books. So the last couple of years, we have been collaborating with ALCAP to create some housing education, and that is in fact our big project that we're doing with our community leaders this year, is that we will be having a housing pop-up that everyone will be invited to. It'll be given both in English and Spanish, and be able to help people navigate that.
Part of educational equity is making sure that we address the needs of all students. And one of those needs is ensuring that all students have high quality teachers. And so Grow Your Own Educator, this early educator initiative came out of that need for more highly qualified. And the internship is one of these strategies of increasing the number of students interested in the field of education and entering a teacher education program.
So our high school student interns spend some time working with mentoring teachers to see what it might be like to be in a classroom as an educator versus a student. And that was really key in looking at what kinds of opportunities we were providing for our own community members to have that experience.
And I think, like Katie was mentioning, it was looking at our own community and looking at the talents and the skills and the strength that our community has. But at the same time, we're tapping into a need that we currently have in our schools, which is tutoring for more support.
So we really look at students in high need areas. Specifically, we're looking at our junior highs and several of our elementary schools. We place students that are looking for college readiness skills, but also math and multilingual learner classrooms. So that helps boost up the students that are getting the tutoring, so the junior high and elementary students, but also then our high school students are gaining that valuable experience as well.
We know that demographically students, because of the pandemic, we're taking on jobs to help families. There is cost of living has increased, so they feel the pressure to work. And we wanted them to take advantage of the programming and events that were happening at their schools, but they also had to make big decisions about keeping a job. And so this kind of merged both of them.
If this is truly a pathway for our students, we want to break down all the barriers that might be there and get them connected. We know the research says that if we have a cross-age or college age tutor in a classroom, time spent, consistently over time is really impactful for students. And that's a cultural shift. We were seeing a decline in attendance, and now we're seeing with the students that are getting these services an uptick. At Ogden Weaver Technical College, 31% of our students are economically disadvantaged, meaning they or their families live below the poverty line. The education and training received at OTech can lift individuals and families out of poverty and government assistance and facilitate a transition into middle class. Using validated wage information from our occupational advisory committees, we can calculate the tremendous financial impact our graduates make in our community and to the overall health of our economy. With an average $50,000 starting wage, our graduates' economic impact for 2024 will be over $266 million of cumulative payroll and over $18 million in state tax revenue. We have lots of great partners in our community that help us facilitate credential completion for individuals. Ogden and Weaver School District are fantastic partners. They encourage high school students to attend OTech. Ogden School District has found that students who attend the college graduate at a higher rate. The school districts are phenomenal at helping high school students understand the opportunities available to them through technical training. We also have many employer partners in our community. These employers drive the programs as determined by industry needs. Our employers meet twice a year to review programs, provide feedback, and make recommendations. We also have partnerships with organizations that help individuals and families navigate some difficult life circumstances and help them get back on their feet. OTech works with these organizations to let them know what training is available so they can develop a marketable skill and get a job. Some of these partners are the Ogden Weaver Community Action Partnership, Cottages of Hope, and Catholic Community Services. For any individual, but especially one who is considered economically disadvantaged, a completed certificate can be life-changing. They not only enrich the lives of their families with a career position, but they can also begin giving back to the community and creating prosperity for Utah.
Thank you for visiting Ogden with us today. We are proud of our community and all the positive direction we are moving. Our community partners plan to keep on an upward path, providing programs and resources to keep all our residents thriving and achieving their dreams.